Welcome to Andy Decodes. Sit back and enjoy as we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown.
Hello, welcome back again, second time this week. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Amanda Quill. Thank you for coming on the show yet again.
Thank you for having me, as always.
It's a pleasure. So today you're going to be talking about spirit animals, as in, as you said, indigenous side to it. How did this start for you?
How did being indigenous start for me?
Oh no. How did getting into this spirit animal side to it?
I've always had a connection to animals. I've always had had that kind of like draw to them. I don't know if it has anything to do with me spiritually or being indigenous. As I don't find the two that related, but I understand that that's kind of how people view spirit animals, let's say, from a cultural point of view. Mm-hmm. So it's always been there. I love animals. I'm drawn to them. I have 5 dogs and 10 cats. No, not that many.
So just a few pets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do we find out what our spirit animal is?
Well, I think that you're naturally going to be drawn to a certain animal. Now, what I was always told, or from what I understand, it's you can really tell if it's like a land animal or a water. Like if when you are going through things, when you have a stress in your life, when you're you're just done. Like where do you look? And it's like an automatic reflex that we all do. Like we'll either go to the water, or we look down at the ground, or it's like up in the air. We'll always look towards where our spirit is guiding us. So that's one way to tell.
Right. And so when you kind of work out what area, whether it's water, land or sky, how do you then work out which particular animal it is? Sorry about it.
I think it's
I'm just really curious.
Yeah, I know you're just jumping right in there with these questions. It's an individual journey. For instance, I think for me, I've always been drawn to water, but I'm also drawn to the air. So I was really confused. Like, is it a bird or is it something in the water? And I've now kind of come to the conclusion that I'm more drawn in by water birds, let's say. So I have a real connection with black swans, and it's more of a black swan theory that I had, but it only takes one to change everything. And I always kind of use that as a guide for myself, especially when I'm lost. It's like, you can do this, you can change it all. You have the power to do it. And that I've always kind of held on to that. So I think it's what journey you're going through is what animal it is. Like it can change. You're not always going to be stuck with a pink elephant because you like them when you're 7, so there's what was your teddy, right?
Yeah. So do you find that when you're going through tough emotions and that your spirit animal kind of keeps popping up everywhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or you'll see little signs, little clues, hints. When I first came back from the States, like I'm in Canada now, I'm up in Vancouver, I was
Yeah.
really lost. And um, there's something when you take yourself away from that center or where you've always been. It was just like I just felt unstable, let's say. And
Yeah.
I am really drawn to one area where I used to live. Right across the river from me, there was an eagle's nest, and they had babies, and they would teach them how to fly. And I would just watch, and I was so
Yeah.
like it was just so powerful, like just and beautiful. And they would sit outside on the cranes in the river, like just sit outside my
Yeah.
house. So I always looked to them. Like for 10 years, I lived at that house. So when I came back and I was just completely, I don't know, like overwhelmed being back here. I was sitting in my bedroom, like right where I am now. This is my bedroom.
Yeah.
That's my Batman there. Yeah. Um, I was like, should I have left? Should I be in South Carolina? Should have, what am I doing? And then I just started hearing the eagles outside my bedroom window. And I'm not even at the same house, but it was just, okay, no, you're home. You're back. So
Yeah.
that I think was like spiritual. And I think that was a connection to that animal. And once again, it's a bird on a river, bird water. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's cool.
It comes
Cheers.
up, yeah, when you need it, you'll see signs, you'll hear signs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You kind of just, I'll put this question on. You've kind of just
Mhm.
answered it. It's from Sober Carpa. And is your spirit animal set, or can it change throughout your life? I don't,
It
you've just
definitely can
said it,
change
it
throughout your
can
life.
change.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it definitely can. I think that it would be very hard on all of us for it not to. And I think that this is where a lot of the confusion, and like I said, I don't think it has to do with being indigenous, that my draw to animals. Because I think a
Yeah.
lot of people think that the spirit animal thing is based on native culture, and it's not. And I think that's part of the confusion. Like it is like it's a personal animal. It's not like tied to your family, or it's not tied to anything. It can change, and it's personal. It's dynamic. I guess that's the word for it. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I felt that I've had different connections. I've had connections to different animals throughout my
Hmm.
life.
Hmm.
And but at the moment, it seems to be a crow or a
Ooh.
raven.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just something. Say I'm out and about and I'm getting a bit stressed. I'll just,
Hmm.
like, especially, well, I'll just pull up in the van, and there'll
Hmm.
always be at least one crow at the side of the road. And you
Right.
sit there watching it for a few minutes and just feel like starting to de-stress for a bit. So it's like a
Mm.
nice
They're
time to
magical.
go
They are. They
that
really are.
that breath, and then
Hmm.
I'm pretty much all right then for a while after.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, it's they're like they're a gateway bird, but they
All
are
right.
they really they they kind of represent like where we are and where the spirit world is. Like they're kind of that bridge. So
Yeah.
when you do have that connection with them, and you actually make friends with them. Like I I actually was trying to make a friend crow for years. I would feed the same thing, and it started
Yeah.
to follow me home when I would be coming home from work. It would be on at the end of the road, sitting on a garage, and that would hop along, and then would be on my front porch for me. But it was like
Ah, right.
really interesting because I read about it, and I was like, how do you befriend a crow? And I just thought it would be like a cool little thing to do. And
Yeah. 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 Same sort of
I've
thing.
done this, but like on other animals. I decided I was going to communicate with cuttlefish at one point. I'm a strange one, but it worked. It worked, and I learned
Yeah.
their different like signals and everything. But crows are magnificent, and like I said,
Yeah. They're
they're
very
magical.
intelligent as well, aren't they?
They are. They'll bring
Yeah.
you gifts. So when you get a gift from it, then you know you've
Yeah. I'm
you
still
made it.
waiting.
You're in.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, because I used to see them on the road, even walking or driving past, and they always fly away. But then once I started feeling, it sounds stupid when you say it out loud. When you start feeling that connection, they
Hmm.
kind of like they just stay there. So
Hmm.
it was a few months ago. Some of the drops that I do, the timed, so we can only do them we get a 2-hour window. So we have to wait until the start of the window before we can do the delivery. And I pulled up on this housing estate, and there's a wall about 10 foot high. So I'd pulled up and didn't know there was a crow just sat on the top. And if I'd have reached out the window, I'd have been able to touch this crow.
Oh, wow.
And because we have a fridge fan, we've got to keep the fridge running, got to keep the engine running.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the noise from the fridge might scare it away, but nothing.
No.
No. So I think any other animal, it'd have been gone.
Creatures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vancouver, and you guys can Google this because it's really, really, it's fascinating. But Vancouver had a crow. Well, we have lots of crows. We actually have a murder of crows that flies over the city at 4:30 every night, going to the island and back. It's crazy. It's like something out of a horror movie. It's really cool. But we had a crow named Canuck, and he we name our crows, but he actually would like ride the sky train to go places. He would go into stores. Like, he actually had like a human friend who documented everything, and he would just show up in the strangest places. Like, once there was not a funny story. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's kind of funny. Someone was stabbed, and the the crime scene, the crow showed up and stole the knife.
My
God. This vision of this like crow, but in the newspaper, this bloody knife, and it's like, no, don't touch the scene. So, it's evidence. But Canuck the crow, check him out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he unfortunately he went missing probably about 5 or more than 5 years ago, and it was like sad. It was really, we were really like that guy, So I think he's got a son now, and I think his girlfriend, I can't remember her name, but she hangs out with this guy now.
He might have gone around collecting knives or
so
murder
weapons.
Like,
I'm going to sound crazy saying this. Yeah, keep that story.
That's mad. That really is.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so what's the strangest spirit animal that anyone's had, whether it's yourself or a friend?
I think, I don't know, strangest, like, I don't know that there are any strange ones. I think that they like octopus really gets me. I love octopuses and cephalopods, like I said.
Yeah.
So I think that those I love seeing that connection with people, and when people can kind of relate to, like, how do you relate to an 8-legged, thing that lives in the ocean? But people find that bond. I think that that's really cool. The oddest one is someone who is terrified of spiders, but they're drawn into spiders, and I think that that's great. Like, spiders are such a deep animal, or arachnid, and they bring you kind of into the details of things, and they're kind of like, they're the animal that can get in the crevices, and they can find out what's really going on. So it's interesting for someone who's terrified of them is actually drawn in by that, and this is a very introspective person too. I just think that they have so many lessons about ourselves and the world to teach us, and so it's kind of cool, like, to go to support from the thing that you fear. I think that that's a lesson in itself. Like, we should embrace that kind of knowledge,
Thank you.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So do you know of anyone that's been freaked out because of what their spirit animal is? It's like really got in their head, and they're like, I don't want it to be that.
No, I don't think. I mean, maybe Spider Guy, but other than that, like, I've never. That's interesting. That's something that I should look into, because if you're really kind of like, or if you see your spirit guide and you're scared of it, like, I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Like, people that'll see like a wolf or see that kind of majestic, like, deer kind of creature, and from a cultural standpoint too, that does have implications. like if you're in the woods and you see, yeah, something with horns coming at you, you want to run. So
yeah, you don't want to be hanging about
yeah,
there.
exactly. I guess that's not culture. That's anyone just run. If a
No.
wolf is chasing you.
Yeah, I've got a question for you
Mhm.
from Nickname. She sent it to me yesterday in case you forgot to ask it. So I'll just put it up in the chat now. So it is this. You know, people say they see Bigfoot, Dogman, animals that come up to their house or see them in the woods. They think are maybe a cryptid. Could they be our spirit animal or guardian?
Yeah. That's a good one. I think so, yes. I think that well, first of all, like I'll say when it comes to Bigfoot, Stickman, Sasquatch, for me, I view them as guardians. I think that I've been in a situation where I think that Bigfoot saved my life, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. I
Yeah,
really do. I feel, and I'm drawn in by that legend. Let's say,
yeah,
and the same with Dogman or any sort of cryptid that you're drawn by. I mean, they're creatures as well. Just because we don't understand them, it only takes one to to really
yeah,
to see one to get it. Like once you've seen one, you're not gonna be the same. Well, you'll be the same person, but your views on a lot of things change. It's the
yeah,
same like seeing a UFO for the first time,
yeah.
which I've never seen. I've never seen a UFO,
No,
but I've always said like if I were to see that, it would be well, when I was when I was young, I was terrified that I would see one because I'm like I'm not ready to change my views.
all right.
Like, yeah, because it just opens a whole new world. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So they could be, yes. That's my answer. They definitely could
No,
be. Mhm.
no. Thank you. So with, so I'm just trying to think. So with spirit animals, and you saying about indigenous, like Native Americans. What's just trying to think how to word it. What what's the only way I can think? What's the big connection between the two?
There, honestly, it's a kind of how to put this. It's a real kind of like it. I think it's more new age than anything. It's not a real connection with culture.
Oh
It's a real
right,
kind of
okay,
colonial term, let's say. I think it was packaged and sold as a native tradition, but it's really oversimplifies and kind of discredits the relationship that culture has. That Yeah, like we don't take lightly when people take from culture and resell it as their own, or like our totems or our we're such a vast people. Like we all have our different beliefs, we all have our different standpoints. So yeah, it just it's not a very native thing. Like we do have clan systems, we do have relationships with certain animals through
yeah,
storytelling and through traditions, but it's not like a spirit animal per se, if that
right,
makes
okay,
sense. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's and then it's like being drawn in and being finding that connection with animals, I think is great. But it's for all of us. It's a human being thing. It's not a Native American thing. It's yeah. I
yeah,
think that we can all kind of learn from that, and both like being native as well and being into animals that way. It's into animals that way. That sounds really bad, but um
no, I know what you mean.
yeah, it's a funny, it's a complicated, and it's it's just the connection isn't really there the way that people believe it's there. And I think that people are starting to kind of stand up and say, hey, that's actually not that's not my culture. It's especially when you look at it like in the Americas, it's more like, oh, like a sloth is my spirit animal because it's lazy, or like they're more looking at it as a negative thing, whereas
Yeah,
like other parts of the world, it's kind of it's a helpful, it's a guide, it's a lessons, and I think that that might be a little bit more telling of why my answer is what it is. But I don't think that it's a native tradition or custom at all.
Right.
Although we can learn from that culture to just kind of, yeah, respect animals, respect
Yeah.
nature, and respect the connection that we have with them and spirit.
Yeah. Another question for you. Is there any connection between our spirit guide and our spirit animal? Is it possible that they're the same thing? Or is it two?
Because that was their pet. Like,
yeah, or could it be like two separate entities?
That's a good question. It definitely could be. I think that we have multiple guides, but like, who's to say that? Yeah, that they're not the same thing. That it's, like I think that my spirit animal per se is a guide and is a teacher, and maybe that's the way that it presents itself to me. That spirit in my life. They always say that they present themselves in ways that are safe or that we're not going to be fearful of. So maybe it is just a spirit guide that's coming through as an animal. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. Sorry, I thought there's a couple of questions, but one seems to have vanished. I've still got another one for you. So this is from Nickname again. She's asking, can they come to you in multiple forms?
I think so. Yes, I think it's it's an embodiment of what we need in that moment.
Yeah. So have you personally ever had like direct communication with one of your spirit animals, like a thought process?
I feel like I have, but no, I guess not. Like, not direct. Like, it's always like you'll hear like the eagles. I heard them and I felt like they were speaking to me, but it wasn't like we went back and forth. It wasn't a conversation, but I think it's like, it's almost like it's also in your peripheral. It's like seeing a ghost, right? It's as soon as you kind of look and acknowledge it, it's gone.
Yeah. So it's kind of just letting you know that they're there if you need them, sort of thing. Yeah. Cool. So so you said yours is the eagle, didn't you? At the moment.
Well,
one of them.
Different things. Yeah, but yes, the eagle definitely. And I think I'll stick with the eagle.
So can you have multiple spirit animals? Yeah,
I think so.
So it's not just one at a time.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure, so I thought I could not ask.
Are you monogamous to your animal? But no, I think that it's it's what you need. Like, it could be like the same, maybe it's that same energy, maybe it's the same, there's the same pull there, but I think that you can have multiple.
So I'm just looking at the chat and what people are saying there, Zara, and what have you. So if you're in a land where the animal isn't native to that area, could you still have a spirit animal that's not native to where you were from or where you're living at the time?
I think so. Yeah. Like, I love polar bears. I absolutely love them, and I wish I could go out and see a polar bear, but no, you wouldn't want to see them in real life. They're pretty scary. No. But I think that well, I'm in Canada, so it's kind of closer to polar bears than anywhere else. But definitely, I think that a lot of people are really drawn to like elephants, and like they're not native to where we are, or I believe where you are either. You don't have wild elephants roaming around.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So yes, I think that is, and like if you see an elephant roaming around, like maybe it is your spirit guide. Coming to carry things for you.
Yeah. So I was wanting to ask you. I started writing it down last night, but never finished it. I got distracted with something else, but I have remembered the full question. So, is there a way of, obviously, the way of finding out what your spirit animal is there anywhere where we can find what the meaning is for that? Because
Yes.
obviously, if you go on the internet, there's like
Mhm.
you can go on 20 different sites, and every single one
Mhm.
will give you a different animal with a different meaning.
Exactly. And it's almost like it's like tarot cards, right? There it's really
Yeah,
into like your interpretation of them. And I think that it's like you can buy books, you can buy anything, but really what does that animal mean to you? What are you pulling from it when you get that connection, when you get that kind of like what strength or power do you need that what it yeah, what's the draw? What's the attraction? I think
yeah,
that's usually a good place to find that answer. You can Google and you can do the tests online of what's my spirit animal, like what do you,
yeah,
you can do all that, 5 times a day and get a different animal. But
yeah, yeah,
um yeah, I think it's really important in my eyes to dig deep and to find what is the feeling you get, what's coming out of you
yeah,
when you see that animal, you think of that animal. Um and then what else what can you learn from it? Like what about a bear is so, you know, strong and, just what do you need in your life that you need that so much, right?
yeah.
Mm.
So, would you say then that the characteristics of the animal would be reflecting onto you and the way you're connecting with it?
Mhm. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. And it's very personal. It's personal between you and that animal in
yeah.
that moment.
Cool. So, um, this might sound like a stupid question, but you saying it's kind of like tarot cards, where it is personal to you, and it's like whatever you pick, it's like your
Mhm.
own interpretation. Is there a way of doing that to find out what your actual animal spirit is?
Hmm. Um that's I think it's like it maybe just a it's like one of those things, like put yourself in an elevator and, and the doors open. What animal do
Yeah.
you see standing on the other side?
Ah,
Right?
right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, just really like go inside. Like go in your head and just
yeah,
like focus, like close your eyes for 30 seconds and just really bring that animal to you. Um,
yeah,
when you're having a bath, just close your eyes, relax. Like
yeah. Like when in that relaxed state, that
yeah,
relaxed
exactly.
consciousness.
And it'll
Yeah.
come. Or what animal do you dream about a lot? What animal visits you in your dreams? Like that's another way that they do communicate. Um,
Yes.
mhm,
No, because I was just thinking, it's like everyone has their own favorite animal,
mhm.
and would you then necessarily would you pick that because that's your favorite animal, or
Yeah, I
would you
think. I mean, and
go
there's
with
nothing really
something
wrong with
else
that. Yeah,
that's
like
more of a gut feeling?
yeah, I think that it
Oh,
is more of a gut feeling. Like, why am I drawn to this?
yeah,
Whatever it is that that we pick.
yeah,
It's really yeah, it's like when you're hungry or when you have cravings, it's actually, I mean, it's our body will crave something that it needs. So if it
yeah,
needs more salt in it, it will crave, like, say, potato chips. Like, we have an amazing kind of like vessel here that tells us what we need. So it's like, let's go inside and just let it be. It will come to you. And if it is a koala bear because they're so damn cuddly and cute, and maybe
yeah,
that's absolutely fine. But we also have to look at a koala bear and like it will rip your face off. Like, okay, like so maybe put your
yeah,
defenses up. Like there's always a reason. Like, and every time you look at something and look at an animal for that goodness, and we're taking that goodness out of it, we also have to learn that lesson. Like, what is it about that animal that we need to learn, or that what is it trying to teach us, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've got another question for you, but someone's kind of they've put it up in the chat, so I'll read it out and then explain. So
Hmm.
this is from Eddie Rodriguez. He's saying I was dreaming of a blue tiger for some reason. So that's what the next question was. So with the pictures that I've got in the background, what I'm using for
Hmm.
the thumbnail on YouTube,
Hmm.
if you're dreaming of an actual animal, but the colours are different, like whether it's psychedelic or it's in black and white, or it's not the colour, like you said before about a pink elephant, I
Hmm.
pictured elephant like baby pink. Do you know what I mean? So not an actual color of the animal.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that interpret anything?
Yeah,
The
like
colors of it?
I think so. And that's like blue tiger. That's like really, that's actually like really strange because I just did it's on my Facebook, but I just did a picture for my son, and it's a blue tiger. And
Oh, right.
yeah, and I was like, when I gave it was like blue and purple, but when I gave it to
Yeah.
him, I was like I don't know why, but you get a blue tiger. But that's I guess that's when you look at the like what colors mean, or like it's like numerology. Like if it's the blue tiger holding the number 9, it just gets
Yeah.
deeper and deeper. That's really cool. I'm like now I want to. I'm gonna go to Google. What is blue tiger
Find
mean?
out.
Yeah, like there's got to be something there. There's a tie there. There's a tie, especially because it's so specific. And yeah, uh, whoever that was, go deep, go have your bath, and come back to us and tell us what it was.
And find
It's
out
in
why.
there.
Let
It's
us
in
know.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Let us
definitely a
know what it's
sign.
all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have any with like close knit families and that, do you get many people, say there's like 7 or 8 people in one family, do you ever get them where they all have the same animal, or is it just suppose more random,
Mhm.
or is it a bit of everything?
There's a bit of everything. Um, Although it's like I find like sometimes if you look at the matriarch or the patriarch of the family, it's like their animal will come through the strongest for that
Yeah.
family. Um, and you'll see it all over their house. Like if their mother likes cows, everything's in cow print, or leopards. I think that's kind of neat when families do band together that way and kind of carry on. It's almost like it's a bit of a tradition. It's your own like
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, but yeah, I think that it is individual to everyone though. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if there was a strong connection with it, obviously with it being the same bloodline, that they would all
Hmm.
pick up on the same or a very similar type of animal. That was all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Like yeah, I think so for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Joe's just had a look on Google, so I need to put this up. So the first thing on Google about dreaming of a blue tiger is a harbinger for the
Hmm.
inhumane side of society.
Interesting.
Not
Huh. That's like
very good,
once again very
is it? Really?
specific. Like yeah. So so maybe that's almost sounds like it's yeah. Well, of course it would be like a warning, but
Yeah.
it's like
So
logically like how that's coming through as a blue tiger is pretty fascinating.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Eddie's put. He's had the dream 3 times already,
Hmm.
and then Joe has added to this. Um, Blue Tiger Dream points at balance. You are afraid to be your true self. You feel everyone is looking over your shoulder or up in your business. The dream indicates something that you do not want to do. Perhaps you need to motivate to get things moving.
Hmm.
Mm. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like trying to push you to do like step out your comfort zone. That's what I got from that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just push yourself that little bit more to do whatever to get to the next
Yeah.
level.
Like
I
push
don't know.
yourself. But I'm also like getting like where they're saying like there still is that kind of bad side of the world, and there is still that risk. And every time we push ourselves or motivate to do it, like we are facing our own insecurities, but at the same time face them, but be aware that not everyone's got your back. Not everyone is looking for the best for you. So just be be strong, but also be aware.
Yeah. So yeah, just going back to the dream side of it.
Hmm.
You're saying about your spirit animal could be something that you dream about a lot. Is there a big link between that then? What people dream and what their animal is?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because dreams are so fascinating, but dreams tell us what we need to know, and sometimes things that we are not able to face we're awake, like our conscious selves aren't ready for it, or like our subconscious will guide us
Yeah.
through. And spirit animals and our guides need to help us along with that.
Yeah. No, thank you. I don't think I've ever dreamt. I've never dreamt of an animal. I've never had a dream where there's been an animal.
Yeah, wait till
I've
tonight.
dreamt where there's been monsters and weird stuff and all that kind of stuff, but not an actual living
Maybe
creature.
that's your spirit animal. It's a monster.
The thing is, it was at where I used to go to high school.
Here's a dog man
like,
somewhere. I'm not a monster.
Well, it's like, the big monsters out the Muppet Show and Sesame Street.
Sweetums. I just put them on my Facebook. See?
Oh my God.
Everyone go to my Facebook.
This was years ago.
Sweetums, blue tigers.
Yeah. And they were like, the big with the horns and that. And they had these gold balls and they were throwing them at us. I'm like, I don't want to go to this school anymore. That was all I can remember of the dream. But that was at least 20 years ago I had that dream. But I don't ever remember dreaming of and there being animals in there.
Yeah, I do. I dream of people too. Like, but really clearly, like I can feel like I visit with people sometimes in my dreams. And I've had very specific dreams of specific people where I'm like I know we hung out. I know that I was just with you, and it's like if I miss someone, I don't miss them anymore because I just hung out with them last night. It's very I'm very it's like I travel in my dreams. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's like I
was going to say to you, do you do astral projection or anything like that? Or do you think you feel that you do that?
I think I do. I think that I'm just coming to be more aware of that. Where is like I've recently had an experience where I was lying down. I know what my view was, and then it was like I just kind of like you daydream or what have you. All of a sudden my perspective had completely shifted, and I was like, wait, why am I looking at the room like this when I'm lying down? And I was like reopening my eyes. Like, it was just very strange. I was like, wait a second, I wasn't in my body there. And it was just in that kind of weird meditative state that and I was like, that was so easy. I was like, and it was so, I was like, oh, I think I do this. Like, I think this is, and I always wondered with dreaming and stuff. And I used to do lucid dreaming, and I used to do spit it out, dream training. And I used to work with people who would do dream training as well. And and that was always like the next step. Like, can I astral travel? Can I actually try that? And I like Robb and I actually talked about it quite a bit too. And that was something that we always wanted to, like, okay, here's our meeting spot. Here's this and that. Like, let's both get there, and it is quite like it's. I love it. I love dreams. I sometimes prefer the sleeping world more than the waking world, but I think that's all of us.
Yeah, definitely. No, because I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were saying that when you're dreaming and you go to places, and a lot of the times you go to the same places. There's one that I have. It's not the same dream. But I go to these two houses that I go to. I could not tell you where they are on earth. I've not got a clue. But each time I go, it's the same house, the same layout, the garden's the same. But sometimes it's inside the house, it's a little bit different. Either some of the rooms are missing, or there's other rooms in there instead. But the main layout is exactly the same every single time. But it's like I could draw it. I could do a map to where it is, like in that area, but I've never seen it. I wouldn't even know where to begin to look.
I think the house is always. I used to be scared. Like, I have a house too, and I used to be scared of it. Like, I was terrified. And it's funny because, like, I share this dream with someone else, and it was that same fear of this house, and it's the same house. So it's interesting when other people bring up their house, and I'm like, it's not like what is it? Like, I know what it represents to me. but it's like that kind of how you say like inside changes, like in or the rooms are different, or like mine's it's the floors, and so I know where. Well, we all know where the first and second floor is, but I know what each
Yeah.
individual floor is. And when I'm in the house, I'm only in one floor, and I know which floor I'm in, and it's like, yeah, it changes all the time, but it's like the same house on the same hill with the
Yeah.
same driveway. Everything is the same. I've never seen this house in real life before.
No.
But yeah, I think that one day I will, and
Yeah.
I think that's what used to scare me. It's like, I'm going to see this house, and it just terrifies me. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
around the corner. No.
Well, both these houses are right out in the middle of nowhere. There's like
Mm.
woods, like around the back and the side, and that. You can't even drive to the house. You park up, and then you've got to walk quite a
Oh,
distance to
wow.
get to
Yeah.
them. But in one of them, it's like I'll go around and I'll be closing all the windows and checking all the doors are locked.
Mm.
And then the next thing, I'm upstairs, and it's like it's like a massive changing room, like what you get in football or rugby or something like that, for the
Right.
players, with all the seats and then the coat hooks for the bags and all that, and the benches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go out into another. It's like a secret room. It's like an extension built on at the side, but it's still upstairs. I don't know how this is possible.
Yeah.
I'll go in there, and it's just really relaxing. And then I'll come back through into the room, like the giant changing room, and it's
Mhm.
completely different, but it's the same room.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of that same dream every time, but I'm in different rooms each
But
time I
mine
go
has an
to it.
extension, and it's like in a little. It's almost like a shed, and but you
Yeah.
would like store your outside supplies in, but you can't put anything on the shelves because the shelves will fall down. Like,
Oh, right.
like what is that?
Not very good DIY.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it is very strange.
I
It
know.
really is. But in the dream, I feel a bit creeped out. But when I wake up, I'm just like, was that real? Did I really go there?
Hmm.
And it just leaves you wondering, doesn't it, if it was, because
Yeah.
they said the name of what it is when you. Well, I suppose it's dreamland, isn't it?
Hmm.
These places are supposed to exist, but only in dreams, and they are real
Yeah.
places.
Hmm. And the
So
dreaming.
you couldn't go to them in physical form.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
In the dreaming, that's like I'm a big
yes, but
Sandman fan. I don't know if you've read Sandman or watched it's a show
I
now.
watch Netflix.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I love the dreaming, and just that's probably why I love Sandman so much. But it's, yeah, I've been obsessed with, yeah, that's his domain is the dreaming.
Yeah. No, it is cool. Right. Should we go for a break? Is
Yeah.
that okay? I need to get me. I've had a sore throat the last couple of days, and I've not been drinking enough water. My throat's really dry.
Sounds good.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only it's 3 minutes now. The break. It's not 5 minutes anymore. So
Oh my goodness.
I know. Sorry. It's exactly 3 minutes. So
Okay, I'll make it back this time.
all right then. See
All right.
you guys in second half. Hello, and we are back. Sorry, you're right.
I'm here.
I didn't put any audio on that because it was just it was a nightmare doing all that. Well, this is why I've got this on as well. I've got a humidifier.
Oh yes, I was seeing like little puffs of it. I was like,
ease me throat. It's doing a little bit, but just not working quick enough. So, are we okay? Are you okay talking about dreams and that? Is that one of your things?
Oh yeah. I'm a huge.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, because you do the dream catches, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yes. So, do you have an understanding of dreams and why? I know no one really knows why we dream, but your interpretation of it.
Yeah, I think that it's our brains need to dream. Our brains need to dream to kind of process everything that we go through. So like it's we're very simple but complex things as human beings. And one of the things that we without if we can't put the words to things, if we don't have that logic, then we can't we don't compute. We just don't, we're not able to kind of get past that. It's like a lot of why if you look at like demonology or you look at any of that kind of like darker side of things, a lot of it's made so we can put words to it and understand why certain things are the way they are. And I think that dreams are kind of our way of computing the stuff that we do during the day, or the stuff that's on our minds that we don't talk about to people. And if we don't talk about it or we don't get it out there somehow, it just turns into just a block within block of cheese.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy with that. But do you believe then that people can pull things from their dream, like physical objects?
Yes. I do, and it's just such a. I used to write a lot, and one of the things I was writing on was about like seeing people that were really in your dreams, but they belong on that side, or that something from your dream like manifesting itself into your waking life. And I think that's it can happen. I think it's fascinating. I think it's a whole nother phenomena, than and it's like, what if like that is like there is that kind of like connection of realms, like of spirit world and dream world and waking world.
And that is the connection between the two, is going into dream state.
Like, and it's like, if you can like a what's the word, apport like something being brought to you rather than it's also too like we in your dreams, like physically, like grabbing things is always, for me, is always hard. Like I can't actually physically like pick something up, or like I have problems with that. It's like I'm trying to do something like I'm trying to grab my mouse, but like my hand won't grab it, or I can't.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I have a weird connection with that, and it's like you can't read in your dreams. Like you won't actually. It's like, and it's interesting if you see a sign or you see a book, you know what it says, and or you
Yeah.
already know that. But if you can pay attention, there's actually no letters on it, like, or it doesn't make sense. Like it's not. And I think that's so now, like when I'm in dreaming, like I do try to read things, and I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
I'm like, is this just something I told myself, or you really can't read in dreams? Like,
Yeah.
are there
So
numbers?
I've never noticed that, but I don't think I've ever tried picking anything up either.
Mm-hmm.
I know I remember in one of them, I did get on a bus. I was
Yeah.
waiting on the bus, and I got on the bus.
Yeah.
I remember being on it, but I don't remember getting back off.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I had weird dreams where it's like I'm in a vehicle or something and going somewhere, and I'm like, I just got to get off this vehicle, and like I'll get off, and I'm just like in this like suspended world, like of just, oh no, I have to be on the vehicle to have the dream. Like it was just really weird. It's like,
Oh, right.
I was like, uh-oh, like, yeah.
Oh,
Be somewhere.
yeah. See, I know a lot of people say they struggle to get away from things that are going on. Like you try and run away and you can't really move. Your legs aren't working. So
And the
I've had
way
that a
to
couple of
combat
times.
that is just to face it. And it's because nothing can hurt you. Nothing can hurt you in dream. And it's and I had to do this because I used to have like debilitating nightmares. Like PTSD got me at a young
Yeah.
age, and it was really hard for me to sleep. It was terrifying. I was terrified to sleep, but it was like that getting away. And one of the things that I was taught is to face it, just turn and face it, and it will stop. That's how you get away from whatever's chasing you in your dreams, is just to face it,
Ah,
and it will. Oh, okay, and it'll just kind of
yeah.
be done. And as soon as you stop trying to run, you move on. Like it continues, and then
Yeah.
also you can move again. But if you're taking off from it, you won't go anywhere, And I think that the way that I just said that, it made a lot of sense. And I think that's with life. And like I said, the dreaming, you're actually processing and use your brain doing it. So it's a safe place for us to face our fears. And we need to do that.
Yeah.
Move on.
No, thank you. I've got a couple more questions for you.
Mhm.
This is going back to spirit animals, both from nickname. First one is: can your former deceased pets be spirit animal guides too?
I think so. Yeah. We had a cat that visited us for quite a while, and then when my son
Yeah.
moved out, it was his cat. And when he moved out, Mr. Kitty was his name, but he rarely showed up after that. Yes, from South Park. But yeah, he rarely showed up anymore after my son left. But it was,
Yeah.
so I think that was like a connection with him, and mhm.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. And next question is: do you know if, this is from nickname again? Do you know if there are any dark spirit animals?
Yes, I think so. Just like there's, like there's dark spirits, and when I
Yeah.
say that, dark doesn't always mean evil or bad. It's just another form of existence that we need to face, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. But I don't think that there is anything to necessarily worry about, like they're coming to get you. There's like like this gorilla's looking at me like menacingly on the screen.
Yeah.
But like it's not like there's yeah, I don't think they're going to attack you or anything, but it's always like that warning, the harbinger, like the blue tiger, right?
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, because I was just wanted to connect the two now. So with spirit animal and dreaming, that I can't think of the exact thing that I want to say, so I'll say it the best way that I
Mhm.
can. I've heard that people can go into a dream state, whether they're having taking not drugs as such, but stuff from like the jungle and the rainforest and that, just
Ayahuasca.
to connect with their spirit animal, and then they become that spirit animal in their dream.
Yes, that
Or
is
not in the dream, but in that realm, should say.
Yeah, they connect with it. They're like merge. They kind of merge,
Yes.
their spirits merge, and yeah, it's I believe it's pretty common. I've heard of that happening, and just like the spirit animals and like the protectors. So a lot of times it'll be like you have from land, from sea, from spirit, from sky. And they put a lot of time and energy to kind of protect them as well. So if you're in that state, or you're in ceremony, yeah, you can definitely work with that animal to get whatever resolve it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And like, you wouldn't want to really kind of like mess around in these realms without that support and guidance, for sure.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. When you saying about sharing a dream,
Mm-hmm.
how common is that?
I don't, not common at all. Not common at all. I was, yeah, not common. Like, or is it like more common than we know, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of always gets me, because it's like, do we really? A lot of people don't remember dreams too. Like, are they?
No.
They'll say, "Oh, I don't dream." It's like, well, I'm sure you do. You just, you don't always remember the dreams.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like completely common, and we just, we might have whole other lives in our dream world.
Well, that's it. That's what I was thinking, because
That
we
house we
could
all
be,
dream of, it's just really our
yeah,
other house.
we could be dream sharing, but
Mhm.
we don't know that other person who's
Mhm.
we're dreaming with, whether they
Mhm.
live in a different part of the world, or we just don't know who they
You just
are,
haven't
or
met them yet, or you've met
it
them
could,
in different lives,
yeah,
or
or it could
Mhm.
be a friend, and they, like you said, they don't remember the dream, so they don't know that
Mhm.
you've had the same dream together.
Yeah. Yeah. I had one dream with a dear friend of mine, and it was so interesting, because I was just like, it was so real. It's like one of those dreams where you feel like you've hung out. And
Yeah,
and it was very specific what we were doing in the dream. And the next time that I did actually hang out with this person, they commented, "Well, blah blah blah," and they referred to the dream. And I was
yeah,
like, absolutely, just like like, so
blown away.
I couldn't even find the words to be like, wait a second, like, you remember that? Like, we did do that, didn't we? It was absolutely, I was gobsmacked.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm not surprised. So, do you
Yeah.
think that was more, I suppose, like astral projection then?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if
Like,
you're both there doing the same thing or experience the same thing at the same time, then you must
pardon-
for
yeah.
me, in my opinion, you both must be in the same place at the same time.
Hmm. Hmm. Which is, when you're thousands of, miles away from people, it's absolutely, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
cool. But yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, definitely
Mhm.
strange. But it's like because I'm still trying to learn how to astral project,
Mhm.
and I always find when I'm doing it, because I listen to the binaural beats or the isochronic tones
Mhm.
to help me get to that level.
Right.
Whenever I do that, I never ever remember any of my dreams. But the nights where I just say, I'm just going to go sleep tonight, I'll
Mhm.
dream, and I'll remember some of it, if not all of it. It's just strange how I don't. It feels like I don't dream when I'm trying to do the astral projection.
Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah. I don't think yeah, I have no clue. I I wonder if it's something that you're um like, it's like you've binded yourself down or something a little bit too tight. Now you're not
Yeah. Well,
able to.
that's what I was thinking. It's something like that. Is it because I suppose sleeping a different way, therefore I'm not dreaming because I'm trying to go to it because I consciously knowing that I'm trying to go to some somewhere else and not just go to sleep and relax?
I don't think so, because I mean that's like with the like lucid dreaming and everything, that a lot of that is very much like the intent, you know, you're intending to go to sleep and go for a little trip, let's say,
Yeah.
you know, so possibly, I mean, maybe it's just like it puts you more aware, so you're conscious of it, so your subconscious doesn't totally take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just remembered a dream I had. You saying about you can't read in a dream. I remember this was a few years ago. I
Yeah.
dreamt the lottery numbers.
Yeah.
They were, and I remembered them, and I woke up and I wrote them down. Not one, not even the bonus ball, nothing. So I was scammed, put it that way.
Yeah, that's
But
not
yeah,
good.
that's the only time that I recall that I've
Mhm.
read something in a dream,
Hmm.
because the numbers come up on TV and it's like, right, and as soon as I woke up, I just wrote them all down
Oh, that's
and didn't
cool.
get anything
Yeah.
anyway. But it's worth a try, isn't it? You never know.
Yeah. They're all one number off.
Yeah. I don't even think it was that. It's like not even close. Every single one was like 10 out or something.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that was that on there. So going back to spirit animals again,
Mhm.
it, 'cause I know a lot of people say like theirs is the wolf and that.
Right.
'Cause I know Joe's put that in there because I know one of her favourite animals is a wolf and her favourite cryptid,
Mhm.
excuse me, is Dogman. So could that just be, like I said before, because you have a favourite animal? Because one of my favourite animals is a monkey, but I don't think I'd want that as my spirit animal because it's
Maybe
just
a
it's not
bratty
really
little spirit
going to
animal.
do anything other than just get in trouble, is it? Really?
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, is it is it sorry, is it not
Mhm.
your favourite animal, and this is why it is something else, and that's why that you're getting that connection.
Mhm. Hmm. Like I guess, yeah, it could be. Yeah, because I remember like when being younger, and it was really it was hard for me to like kind of put that together, like having a tie with a certain animal versus like that's my favorite animal. Because
Yeah,
I would also like, well, if I have a tie with that animal, then it just feels like a favorite animal was forced for me because it wasn't always what
yeah,
I was tied to, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't I couldn't make that kind of connection when I was younger. So I'd be like,
yeah,
oh, I really like elephants, and it was like I really didn't care about elephants. I just wanted to not talk about, like, I don't know, like it was so strange. I was like,
yeah,
leave me alone. Leave me alone. I
yeah.
like blue
But it's like,
mice.
yeah, but it's like with numbers. This is a weird side of me now. There's
Hmm.
certain, obviously numbers 0 to 9,
Hmm.
but there's some numbers I don't like. It sounds really cheap. I don't like the shape of them. So I never wanted particular numbers to be my favourite number. So I only chose. This is really stupid, but I only chose numbers that I like the look of. So I always thought my lucky or favourite number was the number 8,
Hmm.
just because I grew up. The house number was number 8. When I
Yeah.
was born, I weighed, no one laugh, £8 8 ounces.
Mm.
And then there's just a lot of number 8s connected with me growing up and even going through into adult life. And
Hmm.
then I went to see a medium. Well, it'd be about 6, 7 years ago now, and she told me my number was 9. I'm like, no, I don't like, I don't like the number 9. I was like,
Oh no.
it
That's
was
funny.
either 2, 4, or 8, and that was it. I didn't want any other number. So
Yeah.
when she said number 9, I'm like, nah, you've got that wrong.
Yeah. You're a
So
fraud.
yeah, it's like, no, can it not just be number 8? But it's just, I suppose, if they know, they know, and I'm just
Mhm.
guessing that it was number 8 because it kind of just felt right to me. Like I said, with a lot of
Mhm.
8, um, throughout my life. So
Mhm.
that was it. But is there any? Do you know if there's any connection between the number and the animal? Then is there a particular number that goes to a particular animal?
Hmm. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems so silly, but like the only thing that came to me was like like a hellhound gets six, and that's about it.
All right, 666.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if
And
that's
yeah, I was
yeah.
only asking because there's a lot
Hmm.
of things with patterns, and a lot of stuff is like
Hmm.
mathematical and geometry and what have you.
Yeah,
So I was just wondering if there was a connection between,
that sounds like
because
a whole
numbers
nother
seem
rabbit
to
hole.
run,
I'll
yeah,
let you know
because
after
numbers
tonight.
seem
I'll
to run
probably
alongside stuff, don't
yeah.
they? Regardless of what it is.
It's got to be because you think about just like everything in the world it always like comes down to like numbers, right? And it always comes down to you know classifications that way. So I bet there is like there's a whole nother yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, rabbit hole. Yeah. I'll
yeah.
be
No, sorry,
finding
I just wondered if you knew because, like,
Mhm.
obviously, like the animals and then dreaming and then numbers. Because are you big on the number phenomenon?
I'm not as much as I used to be. I used to be absolutely nuts about numbers. Like I
Right.
still am. I think it's because I I was like a math person when I was younger. I
Yeah.
absolutely was just obsessed with math and anything number related. And over my years, it's dwindled a bit my math skills, let's say. So now I ignore numbers. I'm like, well,
All
fine.
right.
Yeah, if you don't want to just work for me in my head, then get out of here. Yeah.
No. Yeah, because it's like the last 3 days. 'Cause when I do my drops at work, we have to write the
Mhm.
time down, the time we get there, and the time we leave, just so
Right.
that we've got it's a manifest login each day, so then we're covered of when we get to each drop, so we can say, yeah, he was there at this time, or she was there
Hmm.
at that time, and then blah blah blah. But the last 3 days, I've got to the same drop number at 11:11,
Mm.
but it's not been dropped. Wait, it's either been it's drop 14, I think, ish. So it's not been 11, but it's always been the same part of that page. So that's
Okay.
how I know it's that drop number. It's just weird how it's 11:11 on each one.
Hmm. That is. That's cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that then.
Yeah. I for the longest time I had I don't know why I would always look at the clock at 11:11, and then people say that means that someone's thinking of you,
Right.
and I was like, is that because like they're remembering to like I was like it's
Oh, right.
Remembrance Day. I was like, so I'm like, so they're remembering me. I'm like, I know it just means that someone's thinking of you. Yeah. So I did. Yeah, I was obsessed with 11:11 for so long. So it's like, what
Right.
is? Yeah, and I was like, maybe it's just because it's subconsciously Remembrance Day, and I was yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, could have been.
Hmm.
I've not heard that before though, about the 11s that someone's thinking about you.
Hmm.
So I'm just putting your link up for the Facebook group for
That's it.
Coldspotters.
Hmm.
Yes. So, well, I remember you guys are going to be coming on soon, aren't you? The full
Yes,
team or
yes.
most of the team.
Most of the team, well, it's like a subsection, let's say. So we actually have a team. It's Coldspotters Indigenous, so we're all Indigenous on the team. Um,
Yeah.
we thought it would be interesting to kind of see if we could match that culture and tie and connection together and kind of go on this journey because a lot of my journey in the paranormal, whether I knew it or not, kind of mirrored my own personal journey in my reuniting with my family and reuniting with culture. So it's that search, that hunt for it my entire life is like I'm like, oh, what else do I hunt for my entire life? Like I'm always on that quest for more understanding, more knowledge, more connection. And I found a great group of people that are doing the exact same. So I was like, why don't we all get together and do this? And it's I don't know how it would be taken, but it's like absolutely wonderful, and people are just loving it. Like it's it's a good crew, and let's see where we go with
So
that.
how many is there in total?
Right now we have there's 4 of us that are always out together, and then we have about 3 or 4 more kind of side members. So
Oh, right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And how long have you been doing that?
With them, we've about like since I got back from the States, so a couple months now. Yeah.
Oh, so not long.
Not long at all.
Oh,
No, and
right,
it's
okay.
like it's really it's really really going well. And then of course we have our YVR team here, which I co-lead with Scott Leroy now. And that's like we're just it's funny because we have the 2 teams and we're still like we're just so busy. We're very busy. Yeah. So that's a Coldspotters YVR. So that's our Vancouver team, our Vancouver group. And it's a lot of fun in there.
Yeah.
We all just kind of
cool. So what is it you guys do, if you don't mind me asking?
What do we do? Well, we do everything. We do everything from the investigations, and we do public investigations as well, and we do more private and residentials.
Yeah.
And we also do ghost tours. We're big on ghost tours. We're in New Westminster, so it's just a city just a little bit south of Vancouver. So we run the Ghosts of New Westminster, and it's like it's pretty cool. It's just like a short little ghost tour. We do it around Halloween season, and actually now the city's reached out that they want us to do it year round and just kind of add to the tourism. So we're moving and shaking up here. Lots going on.
Oh, that's good though, isn't it? That's what you want. Yeah. Yeah. So have you got anything other than like the ghost tours and that Halloween? Have you got anything else coming up?
Well, we have an investigation, and we're doing kind of like a public demonstration of all the equipment and such on the 13th. Of course, Friday the 13th. That's going to be a fun day in our world. And of course, like right before Halloween as well. But yes, we have a few events like that coming up, just public things. And then we have big investigations coming up too for our team. We're actually going to Overland Mansion, which is a great location up here in Vancouver. It's a big, beautiful heritage mansion. They did a lot of filming, so they filmed the show like Supernatural there, and like It was filmed there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, where I do the tours in New Westminster is all old scenes from It, like where Pennywise is in the storm drain, and it's all right there. The theaters, so the Paramount theaters on our tour too. So, and it's actually now it's a gentleman's club. So
really?
Yeah. So I say this is the gentleman's favorite stop on the tour, and they all laugh. But really, it is because of It. And I'm like, when I bring up Pennywise, they're like, oh, like, yeah. I could do a whole It tour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm in the wrong country, definitely. There's just nothing here.
Oh.
Well, there is, but it's just it's the same thing. There's nothing stands out really. Sorry, England, but it's a bit crap,
Come on,
to be honest.
Yeah.
Come on, up your game. You need to start sorting yourself out.
Absolutely going on there.
I'll just let the viewers know that you're gonna be helping me out with something in the next few weeks, aren't you?
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
So so that should be good.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be. So
yeah, well, it
definitely.
should be. Well,
it better had be. Or I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So we've got that coming up. And that I'm not giving anything away other than that. That's all you guys need to know. But I did do. Oh, could you do me a favor? Because I did So here it is. We did a giveaway for the members to give them something back. It's not a lot, but oh, sorry, 1 second. So we went to Cannock Chase a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I call this a cursed pebble of Cannock Chase.
Ooh.
So there's that. Then a few days later, I was at work, and some bloke I was delivering to his house. He gave me this
Oh. Uh-huh.
Bible. So I thought, well, if that is cursed, that'll go hand in hand because you might have to read some verses out of that to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So there's them, and then I remember I found this. So it's all like sterling silver
Mm-hmm.
and like glass stone in it. But the story behind that was I'd left home to go and pick the missus up from work. So I drove to her work, waited a few minutes for her to finish work, come out, and we drove straight back home. That was on the bonnet, on the hood, near where the washers for the wipers.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't in there. It wasn't on there when I got in the car.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody around the car while I was waiting, and definitely no one. I would have seen it or heard it if someone had thrown it on. So when I
Right.
got out,
Yeah.
that ring it just manifested on top of
Oh,
it.
wow.
So I'm giving them free away because if they are haunted or cursed or anything, I'll let
Mm-hmm.
somebody else deal with it.
Yeah.
So we have got. So this was for the members only, and so I just need to get the email up. Sorry about this.
Yeah.
So could you pick a number for me, please, if you don't mind? And this
Um,
way we can. Oh, and Simon that come with us as well. He found a pine cone,
mhm.
and since he's had that pine cone, he's had loads of stuff go off in his house and just weird things happening.
Wow, from a pine cone, that's awesome.
Yeah, so and it's like my car stereo doesn't work at all now. It'll connect,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no noise coming through the speakers. I'd turn the car off and lock it up, and you could still hear the interference coming through the
Mm-hmm.
speakers, and there's nothing going through it. So it is. So can you pick a number between either 1, 2, or 3, please?
Oh, that's funny. I was going to pick 4.
Oh,
Two.
sorry.
Number 2.
So number 2 is Joe Weeks. So Joe Weeks has won all the creepy stuff. Well done, Joe. So
Let us
Joe
know
will
how it goes.
have a curse stone, the evil pine cone from Cannock Chase, self-manifesting ring, and a Bible. Bible to don't
You're
know.
gonna need
Just
it.
good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank God I've got rid of it all. Yeah. So yeah, I'll send them on to you. Well done, Joe, and we'll probably never hear from you ever again. But it was nice knowing you. Oh yeah, but we're going back to Cannock the end of the month. So we're going back on the 28th. We're doing stay over again, but we're
Nice.
going to go to a particular part, and hopefully, rather than going around walking about looking
Mhm.
for the phenomena, our plan is to we're not camp because you're not allowed to camp, but just like find a spot and do like a base camp sort of thing, and
Right. Yeah.
hopefully something will come to us,
Mhm.
and it won't be the park rangers or anything telling us to get out. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll get some
Yeah, that would be cool.
activity.
Hmm.
So all being well. Is there anything you want to add before we wrap this up? Have you got any
Uh,
links that you'd like to share?
no, but if you're ever in New Westminster, look me up. Yeah, no, yeah, I think I've blah 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 myself away. So,
Right. No, that's good. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll get them your links and everything put in the show notes. It should
Mhm.
already be in there, but I'll double check and make sure that they are. And this will be going out on podcast as well. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribing and listening on podcast. And the numbers are going up on that. Really do appreciate it. Everyone, new subscribers on Facebook. New subscribers on YouTube, thank you for subbing. Thank you to everyone who donates and the paying membership. I really do appreciate it, and it really does help with the algorithm and keeping the show going. So thank you, really do appreciate it. And thank you, Amanda, again for coming on. And yeah, that's it. So is nothing you need to add before?
Just thank you for having me. Of course.
No, it's always a pleasure. Right. So there is no stream this Friday as I'm off out partying. Well, not really, but I've got a thing that I can't get out of. But I'll be back. Be back. It's a family event, so I have to go. We're back on the 11th, a week today. We've got Preston Dennett coming on. Now he's going to do a step-by-step on how to astral project. So hopefully those that are stuck at a certain point or want to learn, he might be able to help us out and give us that little bit of a push in the right direction. And then Friday the 13th, we've got Steve Ward on. He's a curator of the Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So, and that's that then. So, massive thank you again so much. Do tell Rob I said hello, because he's not sent any weird messages for quite a while.
he's behaving.
Is he? Right, yeah, so thanks again. Yeah, see you all next Wednesday. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.